Hey everybody, welcome to Our Watch. I am Tim Thompson. We are talking about a lawsuit in the state of California affecting possibly parental rights. I know this is a big subject for all of you, so we're going to be talking about this with Assemblyman Bill Essayli. Before we bring him on, I just want to remind you, go to ourwatch.com if you're not already there and subscribe there. That's the way you can get all of our content, the best way, because we're putting out information that not all social media platforms want out there, and so they're constantly threatening to shut us down. Best place to get all of the information, ourwatch.com. Become a subscriber. We'd love to have you be one of our watchmen. So thank you for that. Like I said, with us today is Assemblyman Bill Essayli, and he is a warrior, and he has been fighting for you, the parents. Assemblyman Essayli, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me back.
Yeah, you have done something that really was very, very monumental here in the state of California. You had a bill that was going to put power in the hands of parents. The idea of this was if a child comes to school, they're going to be transitioning their gender at school. It would require parental notification within 72 hours. That bill went nowhere, sadly. But then what you did, you said, okay, well, I don't need that to go through the assembly. We can get this put in as policy on local school boards. You have done that very successfully now with, is it 4 or 5 school boards?
I think we're up to 5, and we got more coming online this week. And, you said something interesting. You said my bill would have given power back to parents. And that's not actually how I viewed my bill. I don't think parents ever lost the power. And so what I wanted my bill to do is force the conversation on this radical trans agenda now, where they basically allowed kids to have a right of privacy from parents and override parental rights. They did that without any debate or law or court case. They just did it. Right. So I introduced a bill basically reaffirming no, parents still have parental rights. And that's why we're able to do what we did at the local level, and we can pass that policy because it is the law of the land. And we're basically reaffirming that.
Right. So you now 5 school boards, and we know that this is just the beginning because I know this because many people are calling me saying, how can we get this policy at our school boards? And we're starting to direct them on how they can do that. So this is very successful, and I think it's scaring certain people within the states. And so now there's a lawsuit because of this. Can you tell us about the lawsuit?
Yeah, so let's, when we were passing the policies, they tried every intimidation tactic they could think of. They had the state superintendent come down to the school boards to try to intimidate them and lecture them about why they shouldn't do this. It was dangerous. It was reckless. Then they had the attorney general intimidate them and open up a quote unquote civil rights investigation. And none of it worked. The school boards passed the policies anyway because it's the right thing to do and it's lawful. So now the latest bullying tactic from the attorney general is to file a actual lawsuit against the school boards and seek a TRO or to an injunction preventing them from implementing their policy. They actually want a judge to issue an order saying you are not allowed to tell the parents about what's happening with their kids. It's kind of wild, but we're glad he did this because now he has to put his cards on the table. They've been arguing from day one that what we were doing is unlawful, and we've always asked them, what law are we violating by informing parents about the status of their kids? And they never really had a good answer. So now their answer apparently is there is no law per se. He's making a constitutional argument. So he's arguing for the first time in history in the jurisprudence of United States law that children have a right to privacy in the Constitution. And they're asking a judge to declare that for the first time, that they have a right of privacy over their parents. That's the essence of his argument now.
Yeah, when I was listening to the Attorney General, he was saying that your bill, these policies are harming children. Do you see it that way?
No, I see our policies as protecting children. I think what's harming children is to confuse them with gender ideology issues at a young age and attribute that as the problem or the solution to whatever issue the kid's currently having or dealing with. And I think that's just, it's reckless. And what it does is it sets kids down a path that will ultimately lead to some sort of medical irreversible intervention. So what we're saying is that before we do that, before we declare this kid is in fact transgender, let's make sure their parents are involved. Let's make sure their parents know what's going on, and let's make sure their parents provide them with the care and support they need before you can arrive to that conclusion. They want to do it in isolation without the parents, with these woke teachers and counselors at school, and they don't like what we're doing because it's messing up their plans. That's really what this is about.
Yeah. So where do you think this lawsuit's going to go?
We'll see. There's a hearing tomorrow morning. I just looked it up. If the judge doesn't change, it looks like it's a judge who was appointed by Arnold Schwarzenegger. So hopefully he gets a fair hearing. Regardless of what this judge rules, this will not be the end of the legal challenges. It will, no matter what happens, it will be appealed to a higher court. Until this is reviewed by an appellate court, there will be no binding authority on any school district. And it's really important to remember this, because whatever happens tomorrow does not matter, should not matter to all the other school boards up and down this state. If the Attorney General wins tomorrow, they should still move forward. If the Attorney General loses tomorrow, they should still move forward. One judge in one county does not rule on behalf of the entire state. It's his opinion. So until this goes up to the appellate level, and I do believe this will make it up, if not to the California Supreme Court, it will make it to the U.S. Supreme Court at some point for resolution on this parental rights issue.
So in the meantime, what can parents be doing? How can they support you? How can other school boards get this policy put in place?
Well, number one is get informed. Learn about what's happening, because these school districts will not be transparent about what they're doing. A lot of them have gender support plans that, I'll be honest with you, people are sending them to me and say, hey, look at this school district, look at this gender support plan that excludes parents. And I'll send it to the school board member of that school district. And the board member will say, I've never seen that. I have no idea what that is. Okay. So number one is get informed. Learn about the policies at your school district. Follow the parental rights groups. We have a website, caparentalrights.com. You can follow our platforms at Bill Essayli or yours. Learn what's going on. Second is get organized. Talk to other parents. Let them know what's happening. Say, do you know this is happening at the school? Are you okay with this? We should do something about it. And then third is take action. Whether that's contacting a board member, submitting a sample policy, or asking that district to take up the policy reaffirming parental rights. Or if you don't have a supportive school district, maybe consider running yourself. So that's what I would say. Get informed, get organized, and take action. Those are the 3 steps.
Awesome. Well, I want to thank you so much for all that you have been doing. I know you've got a lot on your plate. You've got a lot of hate coming your way because the stance that you've taken to protect our rights as parents here in the state of California. But you are a vanguard in that, and we appreciate it. So thank you so much, Assemblyman Bill Essayli, for joining us today and all that you're doing.
Thank you. And I will keep fighting because it's the right thing to do. But at the end of the day, the power is with the people. So we need all of your help. So
amen. Amen to that. Thank you so much. I want to thank you all for joining us today. Again, go to rwatch.com, subscribe, become a what we call a watchman here at RWatch. So glad to have you with us today. Like, subscribe, share, and get this information out to as many people as you can. God bless you. We'll see you next time right here on RWatch with Tim Thompson.